to get money for it? No. Okay? So something like inventory, you have no right to get currency. You may in the end, but you don't have a right. Okay? So that's just type counts continued. Now we're going to look at how to record here. These are just like little subtitles. So a foreign currency transaction must be recorded on initial recognition in the foreign currency by applying spot exchange rate at the date of the transaction. But at the end of each reporting period, foreign currency monetary items must be translated using the closing rate. So that's monetary assets and liabilities. Non-monetary items that are measured in terms of historical cost must be translated using the historical rate. Now, let's say you have things like sales, cost of goods sold. At the end of the year, you're going to go back and convert each sale at its certain translation rate A? No. So often use this, use an average rate for that. And we'll see more of that in chapter 11. So basically, we're talking about shareholders' equity, revenues, expenses, and non-monetary, whoops, that should be an N, non-monetary assets and liabilities. Now, Part C, non-monetary items that are measured at fair value must be translated using the exchange rates at the dates when the fair is determined, and it's usually year-end. And an example of that would be equipment using the revaluation approach that you learned way back in 315. Now, just for ease of identification, we're going to call this a temporal method. Won't be quite as useful here as it will be in chapter 11. Okay, so the last little section here, before we get into an example in the next video, is what do we do with foreign exchange gains and losses? How are they treated? So, it's recognized in profit or loss with two exceptions. If the gain or loss on a non-monetary item is recognized in OCI, then any exchange adjustment pertaining to the item must also be recognized in OCI. For example, revaluation of property, plant, and equipment, any changes in it goes to OCI, so therefore foreign exchange gain or loss would go into OCI. Second, if you have an available for sale financial asset, such as an investment in bonds, you're treating it at amortized cost in the foreign currency. Exchange differences resulting from the change in amortized cost are recognized in profit or loss. Other changes are in OCI. So, in profit and loss would be the exchange, foreign exchange amount, and other changes would be the non-foreign exchange. This translation process that we've just talked about should produce results consistent with the valuation projects or practices for domestic operations. So just as if the Canadian company was doing everything itself in Canada. Okay, so that's kind of the theory behind it, the introduction, what all the terms mean. And in the next video, we will start with section B. Take care.